Assalamualaikum everyone, hope you all are doing great and well. So welcome back to my another video. So once again I am back with another interesting video regarding science. So before that, if you have any question about English, Urdu or math science, you can comment on any of my video. I'll go through that as soon as it will be possible. So yeah, let's go through it, and don't forget to follow me or subscribe me. So here we are gonna go through immunity and diseases today once again. So we are gonna study about different types of immunities. So first of all, we are having innate immunity. So every day we encounter potentially harmful disease causing organisms or pathogens. So as I told you that disease causing organisms are also known as pathogens, which bring different type of harmful viruses or bacteria inside our body, and we are protected by our immune system. So this is like basically the thing that potentially we basically inhale, we absorb very harmful diseases and harmful pathogens causing pathogens that cause diseases inside us. So, yet most of us are still able to function properly and live life without constantly being sick. So this is a reason, because we are having immune system to protect us. So that's why we do not get ill every day or each single day. So the people who are not having a good or a proper working immune system, they fall sick each other day. So this is the reason why they fall sick, because they're not having a good and a healthy working immune system. That's because the human body requires a multi-layered immune system to keep it up running smoothly. Two main classes of immune system are the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system or acquired immune system. Everyone is born with innate or natural immune system, a type of general protection. So innate immune system is also known as a natural immune system, and everyone when we were born with it. Okay, so it's a general protection. It's a type of general protection. Generally protects. For example, the skin acts as a barrier or to block germs from entering the body. So you should know that as we are having skin all over our face and all over area in our body. So it's also the largest bone of our body, the greatest bone of body. So yeah, it acts like a barrier to the germs. It does not allow germs to enter our body. But yeah, mostly they do, because we cannot now our skin cannot totally ignore those germs. Some of them enter. So the immune system recognize when certain invaders are foreign and could be dangerous. So when the immune system is working and they feel like something bad is entering or something that is actually really really harmful, so they quickly recognize it and they take an action on that. However, this immunity acts without recognizing and differentiating the introductor. It has two components. For example, the first line of defense and second line of defense. So you should also notice what is the first line of defense, what is the second line of defense. Here you can see the harmful germs into the body, and this is basically what it shows. Innate immunity. Innate immunity or non-specific immunity is a natural defense of body against an introducer. This immunity acts without recognizing and differentiating the introduction. It has two components: first line of defense and second line of defense. First line of defense. First line of defense stop entry of the germs in the body. It includes skin and mucous membranes of mouth, nose, lungs, etc. So now its first line of defense, basically its work is to stop the entry of germs, whether it's from skin, mucous membranes of mouth, nose, or lungs. Okay. Then secondly, we are having the second line of defense. So the second line of defense includes some white blood cells, chemicals, and fever. These act after germs enter into the body. All these factors kill germs and protect the body. So now here, line of defense, its purpose to stop the entry of germs. But however, if some of the germs enter the body, the second line of germs basically. Okay, so the second line of defense, like it has the white blood cells, chemicals, and fever, etc. And now when the germs enter the body, now its work is to kill all those germs or all the factors of germs that are present in the body and protect our body. Now, first line of defense. The first line of defense is your innate immune system. Now, first level of the system consists of physical barriers like your skin and the muscular lining in your respiratory tract. So now, this is the you should know that it's a first line of defense is basically innate immune system. Okay. Now, level one of this system consists of physical barriers. Now, it's known as a physical barrier, like our skin. Like our skin is a physical barrier. It does not allow all the germs to enter our body. And the muscular linings in the respiratory tract. Same as the respiratory tract, they do not allow the germs to enter the respiratory system. Now, the tears, sweat, saliva, and mucus produced by the skin and muscular lining are part of that physical barrier too. So, the tears when we cry, so the sweat, like when it's too hot, and the saliva that's through by our mouth, like all that, and the mucus is well produced. Now, it's produced by the skin. Okay, and muscular lining of our part. Now it's all muscular lining, including the muscular lining. They are a part of physical barrier as well. These quick and simple responses can eliminate some pathogens before they have a chance to reach your tissue or blood. Now, these are the quick and success. Now, these quickly start working on the germs and try to kill them, because so that they do not, by chance, they do not reach your tissue or your blood, because then it's going to be harmful. For example, your skin is a physical barrier that prevents pathogens from entering the body. But if you cut the skin on the finger, bacteria would have a way to get into your body. At that point, the next level of your innate immune system would respond. So now here, yeah, it's the same thing. Now, as you know, skin is a physical barrier. Okay, that helps your skin, you help you protect from the germs. Now, we know this. But if our skin gets cut, like whether it's on hand or any other part of body, so when our skin gets cut, they know that's open. Now, blood is coming out and all that ways are open. No, it can happen that bacteria and germs can enter the body through that. So at that point, when skin cannot function, at that time the next level of our innate immune system would respond. Now, first level work, now they don't have to do anything, because definitely now we're having a cut, now they cannot do anything. So the next level is going to respond. The barriers that make up the first line of defense can be classified as either physical or chemical. So you should know that the barriers that make up the first line of defense can be classified as either physical or chemical. They can be physical or chemical. Physical barriers stop pathogens from entering the body by blocking or trapping them. So this is their work. They basically stop all the pathogens, harmful pathogens, from entering the body. Examples include skin and mucus. Some physical barriers like cilia actively push pathogens out. This is shown in the diagram in next slide. Okay. Chemical barriers kill pathogens before they can enter the body. They include stomach acid as well as enzymes in tears, saliva, and mucus. Now here you can see this is our skin, these are tears and mucus, this is our cilia, and then the first line, these are all first line of defense. Now this is urine flow, this is stomach acid. Okay, there are ways to protect your first line of defense. You can add layers to defense to protect your body, like face mask, gloves, sanitizer, etc. Okay. Second line of defense. So the second line of defense is non-specific resistance that destroy invaders in the generalized way without targeting specific individuals. Okay, so now this is the second line of defense. Parasitic cells ingest and destroy all the microbes that pass in body tissue. It includes some white blood cells, chemical and fever. These act after the germs enter the body. All these factors kill germs and protect the body. Now, you can see this is a nucleus, and these are the phagocyte, and these are the invader. And now here in second one, invader is engulfed. Now here invader is engulfed. Okay. Then what are we having? We're having, now you can see here in the picture, we are having fever, inflammation, phagocytes. Now this is a second layer of defense. Okay. So, yeah. So then we're having adaptive immunity. So the third line of defense, it's known as the adaptive immunity, is made up of specialized cells and processes which kill pathogens or prevent their attack. Okay, the adaptive immunity system is switched on by the evolutionary order innate immune system. This older system is non-specific, whereas the adaptive system is tailored to specific targets. Okay, the adaptive immune system's responses gives the vibrant immune system the ability to recognize and remember specific pathogens. The system mounts stronger attack each time a particular pathogen is countered. This is adaptive immunity because the body's immune system prepares itself for future challenges. Now then, the second layer of defense responds to infections quickly but in a general way. This immune system has another way of fighting infections that target specific pathogens. These specialized weapons make up the third layer of defense. It has two main roles: identify and destroy specific pathogens, build long-lasting immunity against the pathogens in case they infect the body again. The third layer of defense is made up of specialized white blood cells. These are thousands of types and of pathogens, and each type is unique. For example, influenza virus has a different shape and structure compared to the Ebola virus. The first two lines of defense respond in a general way that treat all pathogens equally. The third line of defense targets a specific pathogen that has invaded the body. A strength of the third line of defense is that it can develop an effective weapon against a particular pathogen. It can also remember that pathogen if it ever shows up in the body again. It can be used the same weapon to defend it more quickly. You can see here different type of pathogens have different shapes and structure, and electron microscope images of an Ebola virus left and hint influenza virus at the right side. Now, the third line of defense, building immunity against diseases. So you guys can see here that if first time your body encounter a pathogen, it takes few days for the third line of defense to mount an attack. During this time, you will feel sick. The third line of defense takes time because it need to identify the pathogen first. To do this, it relies on specialized white blood cells called B cells. Identifying pathogens. So B cells travel to the bloodstream on the outlook for pathogens. Each B cell produces special protein called antibodies, which it carries on its cell membrane. Antibodies bind onto markers on pathogens to identify them. Each type of pathogen has unique marker. It means that they can only bind to antibodies with a matching shape similar to a lock and key. Fighting pathogens. So once an antibody binds to a pathogen, the B cell releases millions of matching antibodies into the blood to fight the pathogen. The B cell also clones itself to form an army that releases a barrage of antibodies to fight and neutralize the pathogen. Becoming immune. So after the infection has been defended, some of the B cells remain in the blood as memory cells. And then if you are infected by the same pathogen again, the third line of defense will respond faster and stronger as it did the first time. It works so fast that you don't even get sick. This is what it means to become immune to the disease. So yeah, you can, like, if you want to answer this question, you can answer that how does skin protect us from germs, or why are all three lines of defense important for us? So yeah. Okay, then B cells and T cells. So the adaptive immune response involves two type of main cells, specialized white blood cells called lymphocytes. B cells and T cells. So B cells are found in the blood. Their main function is to measure into cells to produce antibodies to contract the antigens, foreign invaders that get into the body. To do this, they work with T cells. So like B cells are attack invaders outside the cell, and T cells are attack invaders inside the cells. So then your body makes millions of different T cells. Each type of T cell can recognize a different type of pathogen. This means your body can combat almost every invader, even the ones that it had never been seen before. It in the lymph nodes, the T cells are fully mature but have never encountered the pathogen they are supposed to fight. These cells are initially asleep. Their dendritic cells' job is to wake them up and bring them to the pathogens. Now, the T cells directly kill virus infected cells and active all other cells of immune system and to fight the germs. B cells, after Activation start making antibodies. Antibodies are special proteins flowing in blood which can recognize and kill viruses and bacteria. If our body develops antibodies against a disease, then we become immune to that disease. The way the body defends itself against harmful or foreign substances is called immune system. Adaptive immunity. So adaptive immunity or learned immunity includes a third line of defense. It identifies the germs and start making special types of white blood cells, for example, T cells and B cells. Okay. Then the T cells directly kill virus infected and active all other cells of immune system to fight the germ. B cells after activation start making antibodies. Antibodies are special protein after frying the blood which can recognize and kill viruses and bacteria. If our body develops antibody against a disease, we become immune to that disease. The way our body defends against harmful substances or foreign substances is called immune system. So the first line of defense, skin and mucous membrane, it's in and second line of defense, eater cells, chemicals and fevers. These both are innate immunity, and then third line of defense, B and T cells are adaptive immunity. You can see here antibodies and bacteria as well. Antibodies are attacking bacteria. Innate immunity versus adaptive immunity. So innate immunity, natural defense mechanisms that provide immediate protection against pathogens that do not require prior exposure. For example, skin attacking and a physical barrier to prevent pathogen entry. Adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity is a type of immunity that is built up as we exposed to disease or get vaccinated. For example, developing antibodies against the measles virus after being infected or vaccinated. Then here you can see the characteristics innate immunity and adaptive immunity. So first of all, here it begins. Innate immunity is something that is already present in the body, and adaptive immunity is created to respond to exposure to a foreign substance. Specificity, innate immunity is non-specific, and adaptive immunity is specific response. Innate immunity fights any foreign invader, and adaptive immunity fights only specific infection. And then a response is like innate immunity rapid, and adaptive immunity is slow, 1 to 2 weeks. And inheritance and innate immunity, the type of immunity is generally inherited from parents and passed or to offsprings. Adaptive immunity is not passed from the parents of to offspring, hence it cannot be inherited. Memory, innate immunity cannot reach with equal potency upon repeated exposure of the same pathogen. Adaptive immune system can remember the specific pathogens which have been caught before. Presence, so innate immunity is present at birth, and adaptive immunity develops during a person's lifetime and can be short-lived. Speed, innate immunity, further faster response, and adaptive immunity slower response. Composition, the innate immune system is composed of physical and chemical barriers. Adaptive immune system is composed of B cells and T cells. Examples of innate immunity are white blood cells fighting bacteria causing redness and swelling, which can have a cut when you have a cut. And then adaptive immunity, chicken pox vaccination, that's so that we won't get the chicken pox, because adaptive immunity system has remembered the foreign body. Now the immune system, three lines of defense: non-specific defense, innate immunity, specific defense. Adaptive immunity, now first line of defense, skin, mucous membrane, secretion of skin and mucous membrane. Second layer of defense, like eater cells, chemical and fever. First of all, a pathogen eats bacteria. Secondly, part of a bacteria anti goes to the surface of the pathogen. Third line of defense, antibodies and memory cells. Mechanism of antibodies formation, antigens and antibodies. And antigens are foreign substance enters your body. This can include bacteria, virus, fungi, allergens, venom, and other various toxins. And antibodies are protein produced by your immune system to attack and fight off these antigens. Explanation: an antigen is a substance that promotes your body to stimulate an immune response against it. Antigen include allergens, bacteria and viruses. Antibodies are Y-shaped proteins that are produced that our body produces when it detects antigens. Antibodies are produced by immune cells and called B cells, and these are the antibodies, and these are the you can see an antibodies fighting off the germs here. Antibodies formation. There are two ways of antibodies formation by your immune system. Either you get a disease or you get vaccinated. Antibody formation starts when you get body gets exposed to a pathogen. You can see here an antibody, antigen specific to this antibody pathogen, and then you can see here antigen antibody complex. You guys can see now here, this is the virus. Okay, vaccination. A vaccine works by training to immune system to recognize and fight pathogens. To do this, some of the part from the pathogens must be introduced into the body to trigger an immune response. Vaccine can be in form of oral drugs, for example polio vaccine, or injection. COVID-19 vaccine. B and T cells from memory cells as well. These memory cells remember their enemies. Next time when you get pathogens enter, the two types of memory cells become active immediately and start killing pathogens. This quick immune response assures that pathogen will be unable to grow in the body and cause disease. So if you get vaccinated against polio, then after the entry of polio virus in your body, immune response will kill all polio viruses. You will stay healthy and protected from diseases. Third line of defense grows with the time due to vaccine and exposure of pathogens. How vaccine works. So a weak or dirt form of the germ is introduced, then this sparks your immune response to develop antibodies that remember the germ, and then the antibodies fight off the germ if it invades again. So hope you liked today's class. Thank you so much for listening to me. Bye bye, take care, and Allah Hafiz.